Let's move on and take email number 5. Email number 5 comes to us from our friend Dale down in Orlando. Dale says, Mike! And I say, Dale! Dale, how you doing? So this is the, I guess, kind of the big news of the day. Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man, Electro, Doctor Strange. Now, does this confirm the multiverse? And Dale, again, to your question, you asked a question on the show. Was it on Monday, Tuesday, a few days ago? A very similar question. Does this confirm a multiverse? Does this confirm the multiverse in the MCU? No, it does not. The upcoming film, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, that confirms a multiverse. But Doctor Strange appearing as Spider-Man's mentor in the upcoming Spider-Man 3 film does not itself make a determination that words are not flowing freely to me at the moment. But anyway, this news is coming to us exclusively from the Hollywood Reporter. Hollywood Reporter was the first news agency to break this particular little bit of news. Benedict Cumberbatch will be joining the cast of Spider-Man 3 as Doctor Strange. Now, in the article, as we scroll down, it goes on to say Benedict Cumberbatch is putting on the cloak of levitation and will reprise the Marvel supernatural hero Doctor Strange for the latest Spider-Man movie installment starring Tom Holland, yada, yada, yada. The movie puts Cumberbatch in the mentor role that was previously occupied by Robert Downey Jr., who played, Iron Man, and Samuel L. Jackson in Spider-Man Far From Home. So this is an interesting little bit of news that we have here. It's interesting that, in Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man's, I guess Peter Parker's mentor was Tony Stark. In the second film, Far From Home, his kind of mentor was Nick Fury. And now we're going to get Doctor Strange as his mentor. I think this is a really, really cool move. And also considering that, 2 days ago, news broke that Jamie Foxx would be reprising his role as Electro in the upcoming Spider-Man 3 film. So I think there definitely are some multiverse connections being made. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a film that is happening. We know that WandaVision, the television show with the Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen as the Scarlet Witch, that will be ushering in, I think this is just my own thoughts and projections, I think there's going to be some kind of an event or a series of events in that show that is going to open the multiverse, kind of open the door to the multiverse. I think Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to be the adventure, learning about the multiverse. What is it? And then everything that happens after that is going to be the fallout of said multiverse. We know that Jamie Foxx is coming back as Electro in the next Spider-Man film. Which has everybody raising their eyebrows. What in the world is an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie villain doing in the MCU here? Katie.
I have so many thoughts about this.
So many thoughts. You are, I'm going to affectionately refer to you as our comic book aficionado. All things comics, all things comic book movies. Lay it on me. What's your initial thought here?
I feel like knowing on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being I know everything, 1 being I know nothing. I'm like a 2 in this question.
So
section, whatever. Some things. So here's what I think. I think that it's them trying to do too much, and it will either go really, really great or it will go really, really bad. So like in Lost, for example, like the first season felt really cool because they focused only on one character per episode. And then it started going downhill in season 2 and 3 because they started to do multiple character backstories in one episode. It got too busy. So that's what I feel like by mixing it, the worlds,
and
it might get too busy. Or
in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, which starred Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man, one of the biggest complaints... Now, I'm full disclosure, I like that movie. I actually think it's a fun, good movie. but I'm in the minority in this opinion, so whatever.
Yes.
In that film, one of the huge criticisms was that it was jam-packed with too many characters. You have Spider-Man, you have Electro, you have the Green Goblin, you have not Mary Jane Watson, but Gwen Stacy going off and like her whole storyline. The Aunt May thing, like there was, and then you have flashbacks to the previous film, and then this whole conspiracy of, blah, 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 whatever. And, a lot of people said there was too much happening. You couldn't actually flesh out a good story. Is that something that you think might actually be the case here?
Yes. But also I have no idea. And, I am learning the words levitation cape today.
Ooh.
So
literally,
I have no idea. But I do think that very, very regularly it's like, oh, people like this thing and this thing. Let's do them both at the same time. But then we miss the heart of like a good movie is a good movie because you care about the characters. And if there's so many characters that it's just like archetypes and caricatures, then who gives a crap?
I think that's one of the interesting things about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that they spent the time building the characters from scratch right from the very beginning. So this is an ongoing story that started in 2008 with the very first Iron Man film. And Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige, they did something that nobody had ever done before, is you build 6 different characters and 6 different stories, and then you bring them all together in one giant mashup movie of the Avengers. Nobody had ever done that before. And now we have 4 Avengers movies, the last one being the highest grossing film of all time.
$100 billion in 10 days or something.
9 days.
Nailed it.
$200 billion.
Okay, well, I was close.
I'm just making up numbers. I'm making up numbers. But yeah, I think, in all honesty, I think the actual figures, I think it ended with $1.78 billion was the rake. Highest. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And now it just seems like a mainstay, right? You say the Avengers, everyone knows what the property is. Everybody knows kind of what to expect, and that it's going to be a big, fantastical romp through superhero land, right? So with jam-packing this movie with tons of characters, I'm not necessarily worried about it because, we already knew who the characters are. We know what they're capable of. We know their backstories, right? So we don't have to tell too many backstories. But I am a little concerned as going into this, knowing that Doctor Strange is going to be the mentor to Spider-Man in this film, for the same reasons that I was apprehensive about the first Spider-Man film in this MCU thing, which is all of the posters, all of the advertisements. If you remember back, I think it was 2016 when Spider-Man Homecoming came out, Iron Man was he was in every piece of marketing right alongside Peter Parker, which made me think, is this going to be Iron Man, like another Iron Man movie, like Iron Man 4 featuring Spider-Man? That's what I was afraid of. And they worked it brilliantly. He played not just backseat, but second fiddle. He wasn't in the movie that much. He was peppered in where he needed to be peppered in, and I feel like that was good storytelling. Mm-hmm. Everything that we've known about Marvel over the years, everything that we've come to understand about what it is that they bring to the table, in terms of good storytelling, and I will say, Incredible Hulk, kind of a stinker. I was not a fan of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel could have been an amazing film, and they dropped the ball so hard on that, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. 2 films out of 23. Do you think that we have any cause for alarm, given this little bit of information?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Let's ask the audience.
Ooh, speaking of asking the audience, I think that's actually the best segue right now. So let's end this segment right now and say, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think of Doctor Strange joining the cast of Spider-Man 3? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? Jump down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Jaws the shark would want you to do. Dun 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 dun.